There are 6 types of synovial joints that allow different types of motion. Let's bring back this dance move to see some of them. Look at what he's doing with his backbone here. He's able to move the backbone right and left, as well as front and back, and diagonally as well. Such joints are called gliding joints. These allow the bones to glide past one another in any direction along the plane of the joint. Now, take a look at an X-ray and a model of how the joint is seen. Where do you see? You see such joints in your backbone, in your wrist, and in your foot. Now, let's move forward. Pick up this particular move. Look at the elbow here. He's able to move it in one plane, just like a door hinge. Hence, this joint gets the name, the hinge joint. You can see these joints in these areas. Now, the next move. Let's look at this head move here. At the top of the spine, the bones form a pivot joint that allows the rotation of the head. The average head is a tad smaller than a soccer ball, but weighs 10 times as much. The head must be free to make the controlled movements so that your eyes can survey the world around you. And you can also indicate the yes or the no with the shake of your head. Pivot joints are joints that allow one bone to rotate around another. See the actual skeleton here. Are you able to understand all that I have spoken till now? I hope most of you nodded your head. The only other action that is possible is this particular nod. Well, both these nods are possible because of these two bones, the atlas and the axis, and that forms your pivot joint. Now, condyloid joints allow motion in two planes, forward as well as backward and side to side, but they do not allow rotation. The joints between the bone in your forearm, the radius, and the carpal bone in your wrist is a condyloid joint. See the actual skeleton here. Now, look at him move his hands here. It's like he's bowling, and such a joint type is called a ball and socket joint. Why a ball and socket joint? Primarily because one bone acts as the ball and the other bone basically acts as a socket where this ball goes and fits into the socket. Therefore, the name ball and socket. This joint allows inward and outward rotation as well as forward and backward and sideways movement of the arms. Move your arm about and you will realize that this arrangement requires one sacrifice. This snug fit between the shoulder and your arm means that there's a lot of chances that you can dislocate your arm. That is, pull it out of the socket in case of heavy weightlifting or sudden jerks to your arm. So be careful when you're actually trying to use this particular joint. See the actual skeleton here. You can see that the hip and the shoulder also have a ball and socket joint arrangement. Finally, he is signing off by throwing his hat. He was able to grab the hat with his thumb and his fingers. Look at this movement here. The movement where the thumb touches all the fingers is possible only in higher primates. And the joint that makes this possible is called a saddle joint. Why saddle? Because one of the bones forming the joint is shaped like a saddle with the other bone resting on it like a rider on a horse. Saddle provides stability to the bones while providing more flexibility than a hinge or a gliding joint. See the actual skeleton here.